Hi, Wee Steamers. It's Sheila Kay here, and I'm so happy you've joined me today. Come in close, because we have a special song to sing together today. Can you guess what this song's about? Here's a clue. It's about a small, chubby brown animal who lives in the forest, has dry, bumpy skin, and hops to get around. Have you guessed? Right! This song is about toads. It's called Follow That Toad. Now, if you know the melody, hum along with me while I sing the song, okay? Here we go. I've been following a brown toad all the livelong day. I've just got to catch that brown toad, but each time he gets away. Can't you see that critter hoppin' under the roots and trees? Little leaper never stoppin', he's too fast for me. So, we just sang a song about a toad. Now, I was wondering, what do you know about toads? Yes, they do hop all over the place. And they do have bumps on their skin. And you know, when I was giving you the clue to the song, you may have made a guess that the song was about a frog. And if you did, you would have been really close in your guess, because toads are a kind of frog. Toads and frogs are in the same animal family. Did you know that? Pretty interesting. So toads and frogs are pretty much alike, but they're also kind of different. And I have a surprise for you today. I have a special friend who's come to join us today to talk about toads. Here is Toad from the Frog and Toad stories. I bet you've seen Toad before, and I bet you know a little bit about his adventures with his friend Frog. Welcome, Toad. Thank you so much for coming to join us today and telling us a little bit more about toads and how they live. Now, one of the things I know you were going to help us with was to learn the differences between toads and frogs. And you were telling me some of them when you came this morning. So I'm going to see if I can remember as many of them as possible. And if I forget, you help me, okay? Thank you, Toad. So we know that toads are usually brown or red, and frogs are green, right? Yeah. We also know that toad skin is kind of dry and bumpy, and frog skin is usually moist. That means it's a little bit wet. We also know that toads are kind of chubby, and frogs are slender. And toads have short legs, and frogs have long legs. And since toads have short legs, they can make short hops. And since frogs have long legs, they can make long hops. Did I remember everything? Oh, right, thank you, Toad. Toad wanted to remind me that toads can live in the forest, in the woods, but frogs have to live near water, like ponds. Thank you for that reminder, Toad. I had another question for my friends. Friends, what do you think toads like to eat? Right, they are around grass a lot, so they might eat grass, but just a little bit. And yes, they do eat bugs. Oh, thank you, Toad. Yes, Toad wanted me to remind you that toads like to eat lots of bugs, like crickets and grasshoppers and snails. And Toad said, don't forget that toads really like to eat worms, like mealworms and silkworms. So they like to eat lots of different kinds of bugs. You know, Toad, I have a question for you. I was wondering how toads talk. Can you help us understand that? Really? Oh my gosh, this is a great surprise. Toad wanted me to tell you that he brought a picture and a recording of his friend, another toad, calling in the forest. So we can show you a picture of his friend, and we're going to have you listen to how his toad is calling in the forest. Okay, so I'm going to put Toad down for a minute, and we're going to listen very carefully, okay? Here we go. Did you hear that, everyone? That sounds like a very happy, chirpy, joyful kind of call, right? And did you see how the toad's mouth gets really big and gets like a balloon underneath its mouth when it makes a call? That was really neat. Thank you for sharing that, Toad. Oh, yeah. Excuse me. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for that reminder, Toad. Everyone, Toad wanted me to tell you that there's one more very important thing you need to remember about toads. Toads are very fragile. That means they can be injured easily. So if you're walking through the woods one day or in the forest and maybe you're looking for a toad and you find a toad, please don't pick it up. Let it stay on the ground in the forest because the forest is its home and that's where it can live best and live safely. One of the best ways we can be respectful of toads is to let them live in their home in the forest because they really like the leaves and the roots and the rocks, and that's where they have to live. That's a really important idea. Thank you so much for helping us, Toad. You helped us learn a lot about toads today. It was so much fun having you join us and helping us learn about how you live and how your friends live. Okay, I'll see you again soon. Thanks. Big hug. Okay. Wow, we learned so much about toads today, we Steamers, right? We sang a song about toads. We learned about the differences between toads and frogs. We learned what toads look like, where they live, how they move, what they like to eat, and even how they talk and make calls in the forest. And we also learned that it's very important to let toads live in their home in the forest. Wow, it was so much fun spending time with you today, we Steamers. We'll sing another song or recite a poem together again soon. But now it's time for our special way to say goodbye. I'll say it once, and then you say it back to me, okay? See you later, alligator. On the road, little toad. Bye-bye, butterfly. Bye.